The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The MMDA expresses hope that Metro Manila will be placed under a more relaxed alert level 3 by the end of the month. In a radio interview, MMDA Chairman Benhar Abalos noted the declining COVID-19 reproduction rate in NCR. Metro Manila is currently under alert level 4. But once the region is placed under alert level 3, restaurants can accommodate up to 30% of indoor seating capacity for all customers, regardless if vaccinated or not. Meanwhile, the growth rate of COVID-19 infections in the country has gone down to single digit. Greg Gregorio has the details.
The country may still be classified as high risk for COVID-19, but growth rate in infections has gone down tremendously. From 30% 3 to 4 weeks ago, that has plummeted to just 4% in the last 2 weeks. 8 regions, including Metro Manila, have been downgraded to moderate risk. The rest of the country, however, remains at high risk. What's notable is that for NCR Plus, cases are sliding. According to the Health Department, reproduction number in the capital dropped from 1.12 on August 24 to 1.004 on September 9. While transmission is slowing down, Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergara says the trend is still inconsistent. She attributes it to several factors. For one, testing output in virus epicenter NCR has dropped by 10%.
Ito ba ay dahilan ng rapid antigen test na paggamit o baka naman talagang wala na po silang case finds? Baka meron ding angking logistical issues dun sa bawat local government. Tinitignan din po natin yan. Baka walang magsaswab o wala silang pang-swab.
For this reason, Vergara says it's still too early to tell if the pilot run of the alert level system in NCR caused the dip in cases.
Kailangan pa rin namin kumpirmahin na talagang bumaba, and hopefully by next week we can complete our analysis already.
By then, authorities may be able to decide if NCR will be downgraded to alert level 3 and if the scheme may be expanded outside the region. For now, the IATF has further eased guidelines under level 4. Outdoor exercises are now allowed outside a person's general area of residence.
Individual outdoor exercises na pinapayagan na basta hindi required manatili sa kanyang bahay ang mag-e-ehersisyo.
Quarantine classification for some areas outside NCR are also changing. Starting today until month end, Abra, Baguio, and Bohol are under GCQ with heightened restrictions. Ilocos Norte is placed under GCQ. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
With 8 months left before the 2022 elections, a poll watchdog calls on the Commission on Elections to find alternative modes of voting amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Camille Samonte has the details.
Election watchdog Contradaya is urging Comelec to come up with alternative modes of voting. These would be for those under quarantine and residents of areas under granular lockdown. Contradaya convener Professor Danilo Araw says Comelec should be creative and inclusive, but still in compliance to election rules.
Just because you're COVID positive and you cannot go out of the house, you cannot vote anymore. Hindi po pwede yon. Pwede kasing ma-disenfranchise yung maraming tao, lalo na hindi natin alam yung usapin ng pandemya sa kasalukuyan at kung alin sa mga grupo sa mga lugar ang masasubject sa granular lockdown.
Araw is suggesting a roving precinct in quarantine facilities in areas under granular lockdown. These could reach residents and COVID-19 patients who are unable to physically go to polling places. For Araw, the expansion of early voting mechanism is another way to accommodate affected voters.
Let's say a month before the elections, pag kami naka-granular lockdown na mga lugar, pabotohin sila ng mas maaga.
Araw emphasizes that no one should not be deprived of their right to vote, regardless of the situation. The Comelec previously said that isolation polling places will be set up on election day. However, this would only accommodate voters who have COVID-19 symptoms. Contradaya also calls on Comelec to extend the voters' registration from September 30 to January 2022.
Halos 8 buwan ang nawala sa Metro Manila. So reasonable lang na October, November, December, January. So you at least magbigay ka ng 4 na buwan na extension para dun sa 8 buwan na nawala.
The Comelec, however, is looking into the possibility of extending the registration by a week only. For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
Vice President Leni Robredo is calling on the government to finalize its decision on the use of face shields outdoors. In her weekly radio show, Robredo urged the government to decide once and for all on the face shield policy to avoid confusion among the public. She added that the government must follow what experts say about face shields to ensure the right protocols being implemented.
Sana wag yung urong-sulong, sana hindi mixed yung messaging. Kasi kung ano yung sabi ng eksperto, sundin natin, pero ayusin natin yung panukala.
Robredo, meanwhile, was appalled after an executive of Pharmaly Pharmaceutical admitted that they had swindled the government over its deals. Robredo stressed that corruption, especially at a time when people are dying due to the COVID-19 crisis, is simply unforgivable.
Hindi talaga siya ka-Eli forgivable. Hindi na nga forgivable yung corruption at any stage. Lalo pa ngayong pandemic. So, pag nanonood ako ka, Eli, ang isip ko lang, paano kayo nakakatulong sa gabi yung mga taong ito? Ang daming mga kababayan na natin yung namatay. Kulang yung health worker sa ospital, kulang yung medical equipment. Etong kinita dito, kung doon na napunta, di ang dami sanang buhay yung nasalba.
In the recent United Nations General Assembly, African and South American leaders are calling out vaccine inequity. They say global herd immunity is not the only key to recovery, but also a, quote, moral duty. Let's listen into this Bloomberg Quick Take.
Despite our placing the vaccine program high on the list of mitigation measures, Zambia has only managed to vaccinate a mere 3% of its population. This is against the country's target of vaccinating 70% of the eligible population by the third quarter 2022. This clearly highlights the inequitable access to vaccines developing countries, especially that more than 2 billion vaccines have been administered worldwide. Mr. President, it is fair to state that recovery from the pandemic hinges upon mass vaccinations before considering other reforms or facilities that tend to fail when countries lock down their economies.
Hubo una carrera contra el tiempo para desarrollar las vacunas. Se hizo a una velocidad récord. Y ojo que no quiero hablar hoy aquí de las patentes ni de las fórmulas. Quiero hablar del acceso a las mismas. Y ha habido un suministro deficitario en las vacunas. Deficitario y no equitativo. Los países tuvimos que salir a comprar cada uno por su lado. ¿Y por qué creo importante hacer hincapié en esto? Porque el proceso de vacunación todos sabemos que es vital para recuperar la libertad en nuestros países.
Convoco a la comunidad internacional a fortalecer el multilateralismo en materia de salud y avanzar en la equidad para la distribución de las vacunas. Señores delegados, este Es nuestro deber moral. Si se mantienen atrasos en la distribución equitativa de vacunas para todas las naciones, nos exponemos como humanidad a que nuevas variantes puedan atacarnos con mayor ferocidad. La inmunidad global requiere de la solidaridad para que no exista acaparamiento de unos frente a las necesidades de otros. Son inauditas. Mientras que
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Senator Richard Gordon barred that the Senate could no longer contact a Pharmaly officer, Crizel Grace Mago, amid their offer to give her protection. Mago previously said she tampered the expiration dates of face shields delivered to the DOH upon the order of Pharmaly corporate treasurer and secretary Mohit Dargani. Mago also believed that the company may have been swindling the government. And a Typhoon Mindule has intensified further while moving slowly over the Philippine Sea. The typhoon, with local name Lani, was located some 1,590 kilometers east of northern Luzon. Pag-asa said it may enter the Philippine area of responsibility on Tuesday or Wednesday. And Alagang Kapatid Foundation, under the MPP Group, together with other non-government organizations, delivered and distributed food packs, PPEs, and other essential items to areas in Batanes devastated by Typhoon Kiko. The relief packages arrived on Saturday through a transport vessel provided by the Philippine Navy. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.